This past summer, my best friend Denise, her mom, and I spent 16 hours on an airplane to Israel. My parents wanted me to gain a better perspective about my Catholic faith and couldn't wait for me to come back and tell them stories about the Holy Land. However, all I was interested in was a vacation and soaking up some sun on the beach. When the plane finally landed in Tel Aviv, the only commercial airport in Israel, it quickly became clear how tense the relations between the Palestinians and Israelis actually were, and what a drastic impact the Palestinians had on the Israelis' way of life. My best friend was born in Israel and cannot recall a summer that her and her family didn't spend it there. When we entered the customs line, Denise told me that because the Palestinians are so angry over the land of Israel, the Palestinians have little patience and tolerance towards the Israelis. This has forced the Israelis to adapt to this Palestinian attitude similar to survival of the fittest. Our first day in Israel involved a crucial trip to the beach, with important activities such as laying in the sand and swimming in the warm Mediterranean Sea. Not to mention a typical lunch, schnitzel, which consisted of breaded chicken and french fries. Later on in the week, Denise, her mom, and I drove to the Jordan River, where Jesus was baptized, and we all rafted down it. While rafting down the flowing river, we encountered some Palestinians. At first, all I could see were men with guns around their chest, but Denise's mom quickly told me that it is for protection and to provide a feeling of safety, and that this was common in this tumultuous state. The following week, we all traveled to the holiest land of them all, and the capital of Israel, Jerusalem. Jerusalem is made up of 4 main sections: the Muslim quarter, the Christian quarter, the Jewish quarter, and the Armenian quarter. It was so surprising that each group stayed within their own boundaries, and if they had to walk between other quarters to places such as the Western Wall, they did it discreetly as possible. We also traveled the 14 stations of the cross, just as Jesus did. It was difficult to wrap my brain around the fact that I was standing at the actual spot where Jesus once did. At the 5th station, where Jesus placed his hand on the wall, you can see the wear through the years of all the faithful pilgrims copying what Jesus did. The 3rd week we were there, Denise and I took a long weekend down to the most southern tip of Israel, Eilat, where the Red Sea touches the country and is home to the northern coral reef. Eilat is so picturesque. The water looks so surreal. While in Eilat, we were able to take a day and spend it at the dolphin reef and swim with dolphins. The dolphins were so friendly. I'm pretty sure I was more afraid of them than they were of me. To end our long weekend in Eilat, Denise and I went to an underwater observatory and aquarium. The underwater observatory was breathtaking. We saw all the aquatic life without getting our feet wet. Not to mention our trip on a real yellow submarine. At the end of our 4 weeks in Israel, it was time for us to say shalom. I had such an amazing time in Israel, and the experience is difficult to put into words. Experiencing another culture, complete opposite from your own, opens your mind up immensely. I still crave the fresh-baked pita dipped in fresh hummus and the amazing passiflora ice cream that is incomparable.